Indeed, Bob Walk is on the line with us this morning, brought to you by A&A Construction. Bob, final weekend of the Grapefruit League. We're not far away, are we?
Oh, no, we're getting really close. We're going to, after, I think, Monday's game, heading across the state over to Miami and get things going. We're trying to make these last decisions that they're waiting to make sure that they don't have any injuries or anything at the end. I think we talked a lot about Harrington and why he was making that start on Tuesday. And I said, hey, you got to have plan Bs and things. You never know what might happen. And knowing that was Jones's start, but nothing had been said at that point. But now we're going to start the season without him.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be a good thing. That's for sure. But we'll see how things go. And I mean, nobody said it's Harrington, but they put him in his spot in his last start, and he pitched well. So
yeah, well, there are options for the Pirates. You hate to have to go to them, but there's Carmen Mlodzinski, there's Thomas Harrington, there's Caleb Ferguson, all of these different options. And through the course of a season, as you have pointed out quite often, you need more than a five-man pitching rotation, and the Pirates will be calling upon some of those young arms, and we'll get a chance to look at them. But there are other positions as well that still have to be decided. And this week I've thrown some birthdays at you, Smiley and Scurry. We were talking about that. Today is Manny Sanguillen's birthday. He is 81 years of age today, and I'll use that to get into the subject of catching. Of course, no one caught like Manny did. He was a real trailblazer, and no one ran like Manny did as a catcher. And I recall reading a Sports Illustrated article back in that day where it said, Manny Sanguillen's batting .335, and he's hitting sixth in this crazy Pirates lineup. That's how good that Pirates team was with the lumber company. But you don't find catchers like Manny Sanguillen anymore in the major leagues. The Pirates have Joey Bart. He's set to be the opening day catcher and probably get the bulk of the catching. But then you've got Andy Rodriguez and Henry Davis, and they have to decide one of those two guys is going to be the backup.
Yeah, I don't know right now exactly which one. That's going to be an interesting call. I thought that they would, when spring training started, I thought, and we found out that Horwitz, the guy that they traded for, it was not going to be ready. Mm-hmm. That he had a broken wrist. I thought, well, they're going to carry three catchers, and Indy will probably play a lot of first base. But they haven't. They've kind of quashed any speculation that he'll be at first base. So,
yeah.
I don't know. All he does is catch. I haven't seen him over there at all. I don't know. Maybe he's been backfields or Pirate City or something. Maybe doing some other work. So it looks like they're only going to go with two catchers, which kind of caught me a little bit by surprise. But maybe that it's because they want to, take five outfielders. I don't know what they're going to decide. Like Sawinski and Bay, both those guys. I mean, Sawinski has a little bit of a track record of doing something in the big leagues, although last year was an absolute disaster for him. Mm-hmm. And Bay has always showed flashes. There's been no consistency, but flashes that he could be a really, really good player. And both of those guys have had very good spring trainings down here. And, they kind of needed to. And they stepped up to and did it. So what do you do about them? Do you find a way to bring both of those guys on? So it's like putting together a puzzle. Every time you put in one piece, it affects something else. So they're taking their time with this. That's for sure. It's pretty amazing how many people are still in camp, but they have so many people that could or probably are going to start the year on the IL that that'll give them a few more options about who they send out and who they don't.
Yeah, and then of course Bay, he has that option of also playing in the infield if they need him to on occasion, and Sawinski can play all three of those outfield positions. So So they've got that. Henry Davis has played a little outfield, but he's like Andy. You've pretty much only seen him at catcher here in spring training. It seems like the Pirates have more options to choose from, and you're right. They're taking their time here, and that's not a bad thing.
No, I think what it is they, especially with like a lot of people talk about, look how many people are in the bullpen, and it's like, well, now let's say you want to keep some young guys. Let's say you want to keep somebody that does have options, and get one of the veteran left-handers go. Well, you don't want to say, okay, we're going to let so-and-so go. He'll find a place with another big league team for sure, but we don't have any place for him here. And then the next day, somebody hurts their shoulder.
Yeah.
So why not wait till the last minute before you make those decisions? I understand that. And I think that's a lot about what's happening in the bullpen.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, think back when you were just coming up to the major leagues. Manny Sanguillen's career was just coming to a close, but you were able to watch him through the 70s, and what a special player he was. He really was revolutionary for the day, wasn't he? Oh, yeah.
You didn't, and still to this day, you just don't see very many. Kendall was a little bit like that, real like athletic, could maybe go out and play the outfield or play shortstop or something like that. I mean, that kind of athleticism. You didn't see those guys behind home plate. Guys behind home plate were like plotters, the backstop, the tools of ignorance and all that stuff. That's what catchers were. But yeah, Manny really broke that mold as being extremely athletic. I think he didn't play much baseball as a youngster, which might be a little unusual. Growing up. We're in Panama, Latin countries are usually they play a lot of baseball, but he played mostly soccer. I think he was a goalie, which gave him a lot of those quick reactions, left, right mobility, and made him such a good catcher back there and using his quickness. Yeah. So he definitely broke a lot of molds.
He sure did. And you talk about a bad ball hitter. He preferred it to be out of the strike zone. He would go after anything.
If he thought he could get the barrel of the bat to the ball, he's swinging. He didn't care what it was. Strike, what the difference does it make? I can get it could be eyeball high, and I can get the barrel of the bat to it. I'm going to hit it.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And that was that quick reaction. That you speak of, that fast twitch muscle that the sports physiologists all talk about. He certainly had that, and he played the game with such joy.
Oh yeah, he was even to this day to see him and Blast mix it up, getting on each other. It's awesome. He played with a lot of joy, and boy, what a clubhouse that had to be back then. With the lumber company days.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, you move into the 70s and the Dave Parker days. We have not asked you about Dave Parker as a ball player, of course, his time with the Pirates and your time. I think they might have overlapped a little bit, didn't they?
No, he left the year before I got here. 83, I think, was his last year, and I got here in 84.
What was it like to stand on a mound and have that guy come up to the plate again?
Oh, it's scary. I mean, the whole Pirate team was intimidating. They had the scruffy beards and longish hair, and they looked like pirates. To be honest with you, and it all started with Parker. He was the most intimidating of all of them, and the way they just swaggered around, and it's like, who are these guys? It was pretty. It was a different. When you're playing the Pirates, it was different than playing anybody else. In my first year, it was way different, and part of that was the intense rivalry between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. But still, it was, the Pirates just weren't different than any other team.
Yeah, I mean, you get Parker batting third, and then right after him comes Stargell with that windmill. The way Parker waved that bat, it was so darn menacing, and then the windmill from Stargell. I can't imagine being out there on the mound and saying, I got to pitch to these guys.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
back in those days. But,
Fun stuff.
what a wonderful time to play and watch baseball.
Yeah, you bet. All right,
60s, 70s, 80s that was all pretty awesome.
You on the game tonight, Bob?
Yeah, I'm going to be driving down there here, and I don't know, probably leave here around 2ish or so.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a ride down to Fort Myers, a couple hours.
Yeah. What do you got? You carpool down there? Is that what you do?
Brownie has some stuff that he needs to do during the day, like halfway down there. He said he was going to stop and see some people.
Okay.
So I'm just going to meet him down. I don't want to make a day of it.
There you go.
So I'm gonna just hang out here and leave this afternoon.
All right, Bob. Well, we'll look forward to the game tonight with you and Brownie on the call. Thanks for coming along with us all this week. We appreciate it.
Hey, I'll talk to you Monday.
All right, Bob Walk with the Pirates,
bye-bye.
brought to you this morning by A&A Construction. We have one more spring training visit. It'll be with Bob come Monday morning.